there you go. That's it. Right, onto the main story subjects, and moving from one video game movie adaptation to loads of video game movie adaptations. So it was in 1993 that Hollywood realized the dream of putting video game movies up on the big screen with Super Mario Bros. And we all wish they hadn't.
Mate, fucking hell. Bob Hoskins, what were
Bob
you
Hoskins.
thinking?
He was thinking, I want another hot tub for my mansion. And they're going to pay me.
You do not look like a fucking Italian plumber.
Doesn't look like he's from Brooklyn because he's from the UK.
Yeah.
He is from the UK, isn't he? Bob Hoskins? I'm sure
Yeah, Bob Hoskins. Yeah, of course he is.
I'm sure he is.
Fuck, you've just made me think now. Shit.
Yeah. Just giving out misinformation.
Fact check. Yeah, of course he fucking is, surely.
I'm sure he is.
That's
sure.
Bob.
Yeah, he's got
I don't have any Bobs in America, do they?
No, well.
Yeah, he's born in fucking London. No, that's when he died. Shit, he died in London. Ah, he's born in Bury St Edmunds, not that far from me. Yeah, he's fine. Good lad.
Cool.
Bobby!
And setting the stage for a long legacy of questionable choices, troubled productions, and gamers' pixel tears left in their wake. But like the kid who just has to pump one more quarter to reach that high score, the studios keep on trying, while the fans just keep on hoping. So yeah, I mean, we're talking about this because obviously, as previously mentioned, me and TJ sat with his community and watched Five Nights at Freddy's the other night. Probably admitting that it was probably not wise, but come after us. We will talk about the film, video game to film adaptations and some TV shows as well. So there is a lot of them, guys. I'm not going to go into all of them, but the first one, it appears on the list that I found. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, which I know you all like doing. Was Super Mario Brothers, and that was in May 28th in 1993. It did not have a very good
this I'm just going to point out this list. I knew what they were, and now I've completely. Oh yeah, this list is missing stuff.
Is it?
Well, it doesn't have the new Mario Brothers movie on it.
It's got a lot of the upcoming ones though.
You know, but the Super Mario Brothers with Chris Pratt and that, it's not on there.
Yeah, that is weird.
Because it goes Five Nights at Freddy's, Sonic 2, Uncharted, Resident Evil. Like, it's not on there. And I was like, well, how many more have they missed then? So that was just for like, oh, hang on, unless they put it in the, you know why?
It's in animation.
It's in animated, yeah. They haven't done an all. Oh, you sucky bastards. That's why.
Scumbag. Mate, there's a fucking load of games that are coming out. Load of games of films coming out. I had no idea
it's in animated. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'll let you off. But then how the fuck do you work that out? How do you put... Oh, I suppose. Yeah, okay. I was going to say... yeah, okay. I'll let them off. Fuckers.
Oh, yeah, if you go down to animated, then...
Yeah, it's on there, yeah. But they should just do a whole list, all as, like, you know... I just want all together.
All together.
Rubbish. But yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yes. So, as you know, me and TJ, we love a video game to movie adaptation, no matter how good or bad or indifferent
mostly they've been bad, I would say.
Yes.
Up until, like, we've had some reasons to be, like, optimistic. But yeah, going through, when you actually look through, it's mad, right? When you actually, I'm just going to talk live action here, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you actually go through the list, it's like shit. It's like, it's real bad.
Yeah.
Up until, like I say, so it starts, obviously Super Mario Brothers was terrible. Double Dragon was terrible.
Didn't even know it existed.
Street Fighter was terrible. Mortal Kombat.
It's almost become a cult classic in its own.
I'm going to say Mortal Kombat, cheesy as fuck. Kind of liked it, but terrible.
Yeah.
Annihilation, terrible. Wing Commander.
Yeah.
Terrible, but I really like it. Like, I've got some weird kind of thing, but yeah, terrible film. But I like Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard, Saffron Burrows.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of liked it. It was like a knockoff Starship Troopers wannabe-esque PG. Never played Wing Commander.
Is actually the game that Star Citizen has spawned from, because it was the original creator of Wing Commander.
Oh, okay.
Makes it. Put himself in that film as well.
Oh, really? And then you've got, like, you know, then you go on to Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, the original with Angelina Jolie. Yeah, it's pretty shit.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And I would say the first one that actually, like... Do you
I
know
mean,
what?
Resident Evil
Resident
did
Evil would probably be from that list. Of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. The eighth movie, Resident Evil, released March 15, 2002. Probably, I would say, was the start of like I could happily sit there and watch that now and not worry.
yeah,
Like, you know, a lot of people are going to say it's a shit film, but for what it's coming from the story it's trying to tell,
yeah,
from like its predecessors in the adaptation world of video games, it's actually got legs, and it's got
yes,
plenty of legs because look at what it's spawned.
yes, yes. Got fucking
It's
loads
got
of them.
fucking about 60 films from it.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's
not
just, you
wrong.
go down this list and it's terrible, and it goes to show by the amount of money that some of these made. I mean, you've got some big box office numbers.
Yeah. Yui
Um,
Boll fucking ruined video game movies. Like, just to give Yui Boll is
oh
a
mate, that geezer fucked up so much.
mate. So films he's made, just to give you an idea. House of the Dead he made, Alone in the Dark he made, Blood Rain he made,
Postal,
um, Postal, yeah, he made Postal. He did Far Cry
yeah,
in
the
the
Far
name
Cry,
of the King.
that's fucking terrible. Far
Yeah,
Cry.
that's a fucking
That's
joke.
real bad. I'm sure the guy who played the German who joins the Inglorious Bastards, you know, Aldo Rain's guys.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure he's the where I need to get it. Where's Far Cry on here? I'm sure he's the guy that plays the main character.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
he is.
think
Yeah.
yeah.
Till Schweiger. He's the same guy that played that
The
guy, the
yeah, the
Nazi who
protagonist.
joins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking honestly, they've made some shit film. Max Payne, I had a lot of hope for because I like the Max Payne video game, but they ruined it. Marky Mark was fucking atrocious in that film.
Wow, I just read Far
Absolutely
Cry made
hated it.
743.
Yeah,
Was Far Cry released at
I
the
think
box
it was
office?
straight to video.
Yeah, so
I think
yeah,
that
so
was straight
and
to
this
video.
is box office, so it might have got one cinema released in one cinema
Yeah,
or whatever. So yeah, okay, you can't really look at that. Holy
it's not
crap,
even
Prince
got
of
a
Persia did all
rotten.
right, didn't it?
Oh, that
But
was
then I
that
don't know
thing
what the
with
budget was though.
it was because it was made by
Disney,
Walt Disney.
yeah,
It was
Disney,
made by Disney, so it would have
correct.
had a budget. And it's got what's his name in when he was at the height of his things.
Jake. I would say he's at the height now. Jake Gyllenhaal is like, this was 2010. I would say he's at the height of his powers now. When you look at his acting chops,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
I'd say
this,
he's
I would
definitely
say
better
Prince
now.
of Persia's more an early, where he's like trying to prove himself. When you look at stuff like Southpaw and stuff that he's released recently, even like his foray as in Spider-Man as Mysterio,
Mysterio,
like
yeah.
much better actor now than what he was back in the day.
I'll say I enjoyed the Silent Hill film. I enjoyed the
Yes, yeah,
Silent
with
Hill
Sean
film.
Bean and
Yeah,
Rada Mitchell. Is it Rada Mitchell?
yeah, right. Mitchell. I think it fell off a cliff in Revelation. However, I just that did
I
nothing for me.
can't remember watching Revelation.
It's the one that's got Jon Snow in. You know nothing, Jon
Kit
Snow.
Harington.
Yeah, Kit
I
Harington.
don't think I've seen it then, to be honest with you.
It just it doesn't know what it wants to be. Is the problem with it? It does that great film, and then it's sort of like meant to be meant to be Silent Hill 3. Whereas personally, I think going to Silent Hill 2, the video game adaptation, would have been a lot better. So yeah,
Oh,
it's a shame.
I knew another game that was missing off this list. Gran
What's that?
Turismo.
Yeah, that's true.
Gran Turismo is not on this list, which should be because it's live action.
It's live action.
That was the
and
other one.
it's
It
a
was
video
those two.
game
It was
thing.
Sonic and Gran Turismo. That was like, why are they not on this list? But obviously, Sonic's in the animated. But anyway, so yeah, like, it's an interesting thing. Like, I kind of feel that we're entering a new dawn, because I
Yes.
feel like one of the biggest issues that I think they've come across is that a game is essentially, let's say 15, 20 hours, yeah? Or
Yeah.
even, let's say 10 hours, right? It's a 10-hour
Yeah, yeah.
game. And a game, in essence, is a story
Yep.
that, you know, flows. Yes, there's a lot of filler and bits and pieces in games that you can carve out, but to try and take a 10 to 15-hour game and close it into an hour and a half to 2 hours, I think you're trying to push too hard. And what we've seen with The Last of Us, you take a story and you turn it into a TV show where it has 8 episodes, 6 episodes, 10 episodes, whatever you want to do, 30, 45 minutes, an
to
hour.
So yeah.
And you can actually tell the story that was intended that the game told. So you get your development of your character, you get the development of the story. You know, Twisted Metal, for all its faults, still did that well, and it would have been an absolute pile of dog crap. Even more so, like, because I have feelings like I enjoyed it up until I didn't enjoy it, and now I've kind of got a sour taste to it. I know you have more higher feeling for Twisted Metal than I do, because I just felt it just becomes so stupid. But then it is Twisted Metal, so what do you expect? But like,
trying to make a story where there was no story.
Well, yeah, exactly. But with The Last of Us, I think it was so well done, and I think they may have like kind of realised, okay, we kind of need to flush out these stories a bit more, give people time to develop feelings for the characters and understand the characters, their plight. And that's why you're seeing stuff like BioShock. You're seeing stuff like God of War.
Fallout.
There's going to be a series because it's a much better medium. TV is such a better medium than the cinema, than film, for these stories.
I agree.
But it is like, I do feel like as well, they were like, oh, we can spawn 3 or 4 films from this. We can start a franchise. Resident Evil did, but Resident Evil told a different story from the game as well. You've got to remember.
It just spotted in characters that you would recognize.
Like well, the first film like wasn't even based on like a character that's ever been in the Resident Evil franchise.
Well, I mean, arguably, you could say the Spencer Mansion is a character within itself.
Yes, you can do, but the main protagonist isn't a character from Resident Evil.
No.
Like, Alice has never been in a Resident Evil film up to there. Like, ever.
Well, game.
Game. Sorry, yeah. She's been in every fucking film. Yeah, of course she has. And realistically, it's only on the remake, Welcome to Raccoon City, did they like, okay, we're actually going to make a film with actual, like...
God, that film was so bad.
It was so bad. It was so bad. But like, we're going to bring in Leon, and we're going to bring in like Claire, and whatever else and whatnot.
I don't know why they can't just focus on one game and just do the first game, and just do it in its entirety. I mean, it's a simple premise: a house that's got some weird shit going on outside, and you go inside, and it's all fucked up, and there's a secret lab. I don't know how. I don't know why they have to try and change it so drastically. It was always my issue, because even in Welcome to Raccoon City, which tries to be faithful, I won't lie, tries to be faithful. But instead of just doing one, they go, let's merge the two of them.
I stopped. Okay, I have not finished Welcome to Raccoon City. I stopped when Wesker flaked.
Yeah,
because it was so un-Wesker.
Yeah,
like Wesker turned into a fanny. And it's like, it's like, no, you're fucking Albert Wesker, mate. You're a absolute asshole who would throw his mum under a bus. And you're like a bumbling fucking idiot in this. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't watch this. This is fucking stupid. When he gets that fucking phone call and whatnot, and it's like, no, Albert Wesker's supposed to be like some like super villain. Yeah, and he's just a bumbling idiot. So I couldn't watch Welcome to Raccoon City after that point. I turned it off. It's like, no, this is rubbish. I have my limits. Jay.
Even TJ's got a point where he goes, no, this is bollocks.
Limits.
I'm done. I'm fucking done here. We're done here. I'm not doing this. This is bullshit. Other game, what other films would I say I enjoyed? I never watched Tekken. I didn't even know that had a live action thing.
No, Dead or Alive, no. Get in the bin.
Get in the bin, definitely. Okay, we haven't said that.
Okay, so
I did like Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah. But it's a family film. It's fun, like you can't hate on that. But go back to some of the original stuff. So like Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I suppose back in the day.
I mean, it just sold a girl with big boobs that was running around shooting people.
Yeah, but isn't that what Tomb Raider is?
Yes.
Essentially at its core. So it did exactly what the game does.
Yeah.
Can we shit on it? We can shit on it.
It wasn't great.
It's pretty much female Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like.
But that's what Lara Croft is, isn't it?
Yeah.
With dinosaurs at some point. Came out of left field.
What do you think of the remake?
Dinosaur?
I preferred it to the original. I'm gonna have, you know.
They tried to follow the remake of the game more.
Isn't she married to Michael Fassbender, Alicia Vikander? Let me.
Is she?
Yeah, married to Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, lovely.
I know that they cancelled the second because they were going to do a franchise. They were going to do like Tomb Raider, whatever they called the second game.
Was it COVID related they cancelled it, or just because
I don't know.
the film did 275 at the box office.
It's not bad, but maybe
I don't know what the budget was. What was the budget? Let's have a look. Let's find out the budget, and then the budget was 90 to 100 million, so it did pretty fucking well.
Yeah, it did well for it. I mean, you double your money, then it's not too bad. Yeah, so I mean, it got 52, so it wasn't exactly. I know that's not high ratings, by the way.
Is that on Rotten Tomatoes though? Because that's technically
Tomatoes.
classed as rotten. Anything below 60 is rotten.
I mean, but that isn't bad for a video game film. Rampage was comedy. I gotta say,
I didn't mind Rampage for what it was.
Comedy.
Like, how do you tell a story where you are a gorilla, a werewolf, a fucking crocodile who climbs up buildings and smashes buildings? How do you turn that into a movie? It's probably the only way you could genetically modified monsters.
Yeah,
it's probably the only way you could tell that story. And then you stick The Rock in it, and you're gonna do quite well, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
120 mil budget, got 428 back. Like, you can't
made your money.
Yeah.
They never seem to do sequels though, even with a profit, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, but like, I don't get how you Rampage. Essentially, I don't know how you make the sequel, because other than the fact you've got big ass fucking George. Yeah, but the woman that created the shit, or the woman that, like, the villain, if you will, she turned into mincemeat. She got munched up. Like, so did the brother. The brother was an absolute imbecile. I don't. I think you have to do that as a one and done. Rampage 2, like, you're like, oh, cool, it's just big monsters again. I think that's where it kind of fell with Pacific. I know it's not a movie adaptation, but I'm gonna say Pacific Rim, like Uprising. It was like, oh, cool, yeah, we're just getting more monsters. I thought we'd closed the breach, and now we're just getting more monsters. Cool. Oh, and we're not gonna have any of the lead characters. Yeah, cool story.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
I just feel sometimes you just have to be happy with one and done and move on.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those weird things where you just think, like, I think you've got to go full bore, is what I would say. I think you've got to go full bore. Maybe the other thing that we're not considering is maybe, like, to make a good video game film, you really have got to spend a lot of money, I would say. Do you know what I mean? Because, I mean, video games are so heavily premised on it, graphically, computer graphics, and doing stuff that you can't really do in the real world. Not that you can't make films do it, but I think they.
What are you saying, more for why it's better now than what it was back in the day? So I missed your first bit on that point.
Yeah, I think that films are getting better now. I mean, they're not by any extreme are they good. No, I mean, some of them are. That's a bit unfair. But I think that I think they're finally learning that we've got to keep very close to the game, because you're going to upset the gamers. Because gamers are the people. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, it proves it's the gamers that are going to go and pump money into your film to go and watch it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think it depends on the game. It depends on the game, because you say that, and then we'll just throw in Sonic the Hedgehog. As long as you've got a blue hedgehog, a weird bald geezer with a fancy moustache, like, the game, that the story is whatever. Like,
no,
I think something like Sonic, like something like, we'll take Uncharted for instance. Oh no, not even. Well, no, you can go Uncharted. Like, I think Uncharted works quite well. I liked the film. I enjoyed the film.
I like.
I like Tom Holland. Mark Wahlberg, I think, was an odd choice for Sully. I don't think he's old enough to play Sully, really.
But it's meant to be him younger, isn't it? Because it's meant to be the first
because obviously, he's not like pretty much Mark Wahlberg's age is probably more closer to the age of what Nathan Drake,
Sully
Sullenberg. Sully Sullenberg. The age Mark Wahlberg is, like, he's probably more to the age of what Nathan Drake is in the games. But
And I thought, I thought
I'd like a sequel to
decent film.
Uncharted.
I'd like,
A
I'd like
sequel to Uncharted,
to.
and it took some really nice notes from the film, especially like the plane scene where all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking
Stuff's coming out.
the things are hanging out of the plane, and he's and where he
Yeah,
knocks the bloke off, and he's like, oh, sorry,
yeah.
as
Sorry,
the guy's
sorry.
falling to his death from 20,000 feet. He's like, sorry,
Sorry,
oops.
my bad. Sorry.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, like again, because Uncharted's premise is on having this cocky, never shuts up protagonist, talking almost through absolutely everything he does, and doing some Indiana style shit with a climactic, over the top thing at the end, which I thought Uncharted did really. They
yeah,
the massive fucking
Uncharted's like you have a lovable character, lovable roguish character who you know you can all get behind. I also feel that modern films, it's more acceptable to go to the extreme of like a 2.5 hour film. Like
yeah,
if you go back in the day to like in the 90s and the early 2000s, if your film done over an hour and a half, it was considered long.
yeah,
Whereas now, like 2 hours plus is quite standard.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
To be
2
honest,
hours
I
and
mean,
change.
like Five Nights at Freddy's was just shy of 2 hours. That's quite surprising actually.
Yeah,
Um, so where like Uncharted is 2 hours, so you can flush it out a little bit more. But I still feel for a lot of games, I feel they are better served going to television, and I think they'll have better
yes,
reception. I think they will have better success. Um, like Silent Hill. Silent Hill could be a brilliant TV series.
yeah. And they're
Like,
making another film as it goes.
yeah, I just feel Silent Hill because there are so many layers to something like Silent Hill.
Yeah,
Um,
especially in the kind of tale that you're trying to tell.
yeah,
You know, it's all sort of weird at the start. You don't really know where it's going, what this person has to do with what person. And the thing that video games do, as you previously said, is you grow to like the character you're playing as. Therefore, you create an emotional attachment. And Last of Us did it superbly.
perfectly well. Yeah,
You take two characters. All right, fair enough. You've played the game, you know the thing. But I know people who haven't played the game and then watched the TV show and went, "Fucking, that was brilliant. Fucking, absolutely loved
yeah.
every second." And I was wrapped in the
Casting, the
characters.
casting
Yeah,
was massively important, and they
they,
nailed it.
they did.
Absolutely nailed it as well.
All bowed
Which
down to the
is
mightiful Pedro.
yeah, which does like we say, because we've spoken about God of War
Hmm.
and who is Christopher Judge, like The
Yeah,
Rock, Dave Batista, like who would be the ideal. It's an interesting one because
yeah,
there are so many games now that are it's almost like back in the day, gameplay, graphics, and everything was like the most important thing. Now, like story is becoming the most prominent thing.
yeah,
In like, if you nail the story, people will. Okay, your game doesn't look the most. It's not the most gorgeous looking game I've ever seen, but the story just engrossed me and encapsulated me into this world
yeah,
that and I feel like I say, look, we'll take Stray for instance.
yeah,
Like Stray, like that, it does look beautiful, but you can look past all that and just the story, and the story is so. Uh, I don't want to say limited. I want to like it's not like the story. It's not some massive overarching story. It's not like this absolute like gigantic thing. But
no,
it's so well constructed, so well done that
yeah.
you tell that story. I see. Also, once again, I'm just like, is a movie gonna do the game? But then
It's a
I'm
tough
now
one, mate.
questioning whether or not actually Stray would be better as like a 3 part hour long.
You definitely get more out of it than let's just arguably say it's a 2.5 hour movie. It's probably going to be a 2 hour movie.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it really depends on what kind of development they do. Because if they're going to have talking, or if they're just going to be a silent, and hit with good strings, good music, good good atmosphere building stuff.
It depends how they release it, what kind of, like what they're looking to create with it. Are they looking to create a blockbuster? Are they going to release it more in like for not anime, but you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
more niche audience?
That's it. 'Cause it's tough, really, because you can't just straight up and you know you can't just straight up let it go and let it be amazing because a film is so condensed
Yeah,
that when you put it on, like you said, is when you put it into a TV show, you've got so much more time to build,
yeah.
and then you've got an end of an episode where you can sort of leave a little bit cliffhanger, make you want to watch more. Whereas in a film, you know that at the end of this, it's all going to be said and done, and then you're on to the next one. So it's tough. It's tough, really.
So there is also the negative side to taking a game and putting it onto TV,
Yeah,
and that being the fact that there is filler in games. There
yeah,
is in that sense of like walking from point A to point B, like XYZ, whatever, you know, like The Last of Us. A lot of the filler is you scavenging for resources and other bits and pieces and whatnot, you know, that you need to do and you're happy to do in the game because it doesn't feel like a monotonous task. It just flows within the game.
yeah.
You can't obviously put that in a TV series, but
No,
it's finding that happy medium of like not doing that in a TV show because it's like going, oh well, we could do 6, but why don't we do 8
yeah.
episodes? It's like, why do we need 8? We could do it with 6.
That's it. Why drag it? Why drag
Like,
it further on?
but how many times have we seen that they have done that? Like, and you get a filler episode. Not saying now with just adaptations, I'm just talking TV in general. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
watching something, you're like, why am I watching? What the hell has this episode got to do with anything? Like
That's it.
what?
Why are
Like
we
this?
doing it?
I don't need half of this crap that's in here, and you find it. Like quite a lot, especially in the longer form like seasons, like the 24 episodes and whatnot.
Yeah,
And yeah, there's got to be that happy medium.
that's it. And they never seem to find that happy medium. It's more like I'm just gonna. It's almost like they want to spend all the money in the budget. So if they get to 6 episodes, personally, I love the way. I think we've talked about this before. I love the way that TV shows happening now, where it's not like right, we've got 24 episodes, we've got to drag out this whole story for 24 episodes, which usually ends up being monster of the week, story plot,
Hmm.
monster of the week, story plot,
Yeah.
and it got to a point where 24 episodes is 24 hours or thereabout, and you're like, man, I haven't got 24 hours to waste on the Flash, Arrow.
Yeah.
I would rather they do what they do now, which is they go like, right, to tell this story, we've got 6 episodes. Um, we've wrote about 6 episodes, and that's going to encompass the whole story. There's no need to drag it into 12. No need to make sure that we get to 10. Now, I don't know whether that's an executive decision or they've started going like, well, each episode's going to cost 100 million or whatever. So, you got a budget of like 300 million. Are you going to have to cut corners? Are you going to, we saw it in Twisted Metal and probably in things like Halo, the TV show, where it's like, right, we spunk all the money on the first and the last episode, and that's it. Everything else in between just gets a share of the 300 million or something that we got to take in it. So we've got to cover wages, cameras, etc., etc., etc. So scenes become smaller.
Yeah.
You're not doing grand vistas. You're not spending the money on CG. It's it. I mean, obviously, we don't make films, so we're not sitting there working out a budget for films.
Mm.
But I assume that you have to go to your people, such as Sony Pictures, and say, right, we want to do a TV show on this. We've done a budget. It's going to cost about 200 million. And they either yes or no it. And then you get 200 million and you should have budgeted correctly for each episode. The problem is that you get that middle bit where they've got no money left and it just ends up being two blokes speaking in a room and that's the whole episode. You're like, nothing really happened this week. So, you're only topping and tailing it. Whereas I'd like to see a through line of like not spending all the money in the first and the last, just building your story, getting to your midpoint, coming back down, and then, just jumping towards the end and trying their best not to jump the shark, as I tend to find that they do. I was just maneuvering like because there is so many films that I didn't even know existed. like direct to video and stuff. Like I didn't know there was an Alone in the Dark 2, for instance.
Oh yeah, like so I was actually just right. Okay, so like looking at this list, I was like thinking to myself, judging on the way we're talking, like what films that kind of bombed would have probably done quite well. Like looking at the time of like something like a Wing Commander, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so Wing Commander come out in '99. You're talking like your Farscape eras
yeah.
and all stuff like that. Like Wing Commander probably could have nailed it. You wouldn't have obviously
Mm.
had Freddie Prinze Jr., Saffron Burrows, Matthew Lillard, but you could have had XYZ actor. You could have had a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
maybe a Nathan Fillion in there or something or whatever, you know. But in that era, like Wing Commander, you could have like, why not make it a series like
Yeah, a
the
6 episode
to
series,
rival
isn't it?
you? Well, not even that. Like it would fit in with like your like I say your Farscape and like your Babylon Fives and all that kind of jazz. You know,
Firefly.
well, yeah, Firefly. Although Firefly only got one season, didn't it?
Yeah, great season though. And then
You
it got a
know,
film.
I look at like we'll go with Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark's a pretty cool story. Not the
It is.
film. I mean, just like in general, the Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark could make a pretty decent
Series.
series. Very
I think so.
dark, very gritty. Like you know, a lot of these Doom, mate, Doom. Do you know what? I actually like Doom, not because I like the film, because the film's shocking, but at least Doom tried to do something different, and
Yeah,
Doom actually paid the biggest homage to the game that I think I've
yeah.
ever seen, in
With
that
its
one
first
bit
person
where
bit.
Carl Urban goes first person.
Yeah.
It's like I have to be honest. It's a shit film.
Yeah,
The Rock's in there with, you know, with the BFG, the big fuck off gun,
yeah,
like. It's a shit film,
yeah,
but like they nailed that bit because it is Doom. It is
yeah.
perfect, like encapturing on the big screen of Doom. That
Yeah. And you
30
couldn't really do a
seconds,
first-person game. You couldn't do a film like first-person the entire time. Although there is that film that they did do first-person. It's pretty fun.
mate. That's fucking mental.
Yeah.
I've only seen clips of it. I can't watch it. I want to be sick because it's like it's too much. It's
Yeah.
like oh.
It's got him from District 9 in. Oh, I can't remember his name. I can't remember the name of the film.
Shiloh
Yeah,
Copley,
Yeah, Copley. I think that's
something
his
like that.
name. And like it's a hard watch because obviously the whole film is
It's
first
manic.
person.
It's 0 to 100 in
Yeah,
like the first 10 seconds.
and it's crazy because it's just literally like watching a guy just
Go at 100 mile an hour. I'm at like, yeah, it's fucking, yeah. But I give Doom credit for that. Like I say, that's the only thing I can say good about it because the film's just fucking shocking.
really is. Really.
And then there's other things you look at like why was it ever made into like Dead or Alive? It's literally just to put pretty
Tits on a
girls
string, really.
in bikinis.
And what's his name's in it as well? Isn't it?
Holly
What's his name?
Valance, yeah.
Yeah, Holly Valance.
Um,
Film's terrible. It's so terrible.
is Tekken an anime? Is Tekken live action? Don't even.
That's what confused
The
me.
image looks like if you hover over the image, it looks like it's anime.
Yeah,
But
but I
no,
know they
obviously
did make an anime film. I know they've made an anime film, but I didn't think they made a live action one.
I mean, Prince of Persia. That would be a
It
wicked
it made
series.
$1 million, so that's probably why they never saw another one. But zero on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
straight to zero.
How'd you give that fucking zero? Jesus.
That is crazy. That is just crazy.
But yeah, I just like.
Mm.
You do just look at some of these films and think, who the fuck greenlit these? Like
I didn't mind Warcraft.
I never saw Warcraft, but it got absolutely panned.
I didn't mind Warcraft.
But I look at I mean it didn't do badly either, 440. But then obviously the WoW community is fucking feral.
It's enormous, mate.
So
it's enormous.
you were going to make money on
the
that.
story of Warcraft.
So you're gonna get a lot of people. But like, and I understand. Okay, let's be honest. Pikachu always going to do well financially, but even if the Get film was shit. Sonic always going to do financially well, even if it was crap. Mario was gonna do well because you're aiming at a younger audience. Younger audience go. Parents are going to go. You're guaranteed to get two maybe up to 5 tickets sold for each family that's going to see it.
Exactly.
It's always going to make money, even if it's a fucking terrible film. Just so happens they're actually pretty decent. I didn't mind them.
Yeah, yeah.
Detective Pikachu
can't
for
win
me
'em all.
would be the best. I didn't like actually Mario, the new Mario film. But yeah, Detective Pikachu, I thought that was awesome. Really, really enjoyed that. Looking forward to the
Yeah, I
second
thought
one.
it was good.
Um,
But I might be a Ryan Reynolds apologist, though, if I'm honest.
Although, whoa, let's have a little chat. Untitled Dead by Daylight film.
Yes. So,
Obviously, and now the reason I want to talk about this is because of the success of FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, because Five Nights at Freddy's was taken under the wheelhouse of Blumhouse, Jason Blum.
yeah.
And he's also doing the Blumhouse is also doing Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
And I'm
Although it says
really
Atomic Monster Productions here.
I don't know why it says that. That might it's definitely Blumhouse.
Yeah.
I'm really, really interested to see where this goes.
See, I think you can do a good job with that, though.
Yes, so do I. I feel this is probably the one, like, take out everything that I've just said for the last half an hour about making games into TV stories, because the story and everything. This, like, horror, you can just make a film out of it. You don't need to make a series. Like, horror is the one probably genre that is perfect for films. You just slash up loads of people and then, like, film comes to its climax. I'm really, really intrigued with how they do this, because it's an interesting story. So for those who don't know, Dead by Daylight, pretty much it takes, like, the characters that are in it, survivors, have been pulled in by this mysterious fog. The entity surrounds them, and then they get pulled into the mysterious world, the nightmare realm, the entity's realm. There's an observer that watches that. Like, a lot of people forget about the fact that there is technically an observer that watches everything that goes on, and then you've got masked killers, fucking demonic demons, weird spirits, fucking all these kind of things. Obviously we're not going to have any license. We're not going to have Ghostface running around the Dead by Daylight film, unfortunately. But some of the original, it's gonna have original fives in there, I would imagine. But I think it's easy to get right.
Yeah.
To make a real shit ton of money with this film.
All you got to do is sort of set up the premise of people being pulled into a world, give an ominous sort of observer, and then surround it with, the meat of the game, if you want. Where, like, you're definitely going to see at least one Maury in there.
Yeah. Interesting. I hope we get to see Naughty Bear. So Naughty Bear Trapper. That's fucking great. But yeah, okay. So looking at, because we were talking about the upcomings, exactly what I was talking about. Days Gone as a movie and not a series seems so stupid.
It does, because it's just going to be a zombie splatterfest.
Yeah,
which is not going to really work.
But then again, if they make it a series, are people going to be like, well, it's not Walking Dead?
Yeah, that is a toughie. Because if you're in and out the door in 2.5 hours and your story's been told, then I suppose
it's a difficult.
Because it's zombies, you can sort of do it. Whereas Last of Us was very much a story about the people. The Last of Us is literally the people who are left.
Yeah.
Whereas Days Gone's very much about, similar sort of premise.
Well, the story with The Last of Us as well is ultimately it's the end of the road, but we might have this savior.
Yeah.
Like, at no point in The Walking Dead is there a point where you're like, well, no, actually, Eugene thinks he's got a cure, Denny, but that's not in the first few series of The Walking Dead. That comes a little bit later with, like, Abraham and that. But, like, in The Last of Us, it's like, and it's more about them two forgetting everything else. It's the zombies are more a plot device
as a device to push
as
it.
opposed to a main story, a main. And they're not zombies either, are they? They're
No.
fucking plants.
Infected, essentially.
But yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But about Death Stranding.
Death Stranding's interesting to me, and there's also Metal Gear in it. Now, I'd love to see
Metal Gear's going to be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. But would it be better as a TV series?
I don't know, because where do you end it? Like Metal Gear, it's one mission.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's a long mission, TJ.
Yeah, I get it. It's a long mission, and and Hideo Kojima always wanted a movie.
Yes.
So, like, he's making a movie. His game was his movie. Where'd you just go like, and this week the episode ends here, and we pick back up where our intrepid hero is the week later, like in the base, surrounded by these genome soldiers. You're like,
It depends if they. I mean,
I don't
depends
know.
how well they tell the story, I guess, because it's an interesting story. Metal Gear.
I feel that you could make a film that has a to be continued with Metal Gear, like a Kill Bill reaches a certain point, because you think Kill Bill kills, what is it, five people? So I think she kills up to Orenishi in the first film, up to doing the crazy 88 and Orenishi. She kills Orenishi, and then she goes after like Daryl Hannah's character, James Marsden's character, and Bill. Essentially, you could essentially do that with Metal Gear if you're going by the first Metal Gear Solid film. So you go up to what you do. Raven, to get up to Psycho Mantis, maybe.
I suppose you get up to the helicopter. I think you get up to the helicopter.
Do you get that far? What's left? Yeah. So you have Ocelot, Raven.
You've still got the proper sniper. You've still got the proper sniper
wolves in the snow. Maybe do you get to? Well, you've got Raven with the tank, haven't you? Technically, you fight them all multiple times, don't you? Yeah. So you've got Raven. You've got. Well, maybe you do actually. Yeah, maybe you do. But maybe you change it so that you're not going after these people twice. Maybe you actually change the story up a little bit to condense it down a little bit. Maybe actually kill Raven with the tank. You don't have the fucking shit where you're running around, because that's not going to work. Hang on, let me just get this rocket launcher out. First person mode. Like, that's not really going to work. So maybe you kill Raven in the tank. Maybe Sniper Wolf, you don't have the Merrill bleed out scene.
You've got to have the Merrill bleed out scene, because it leads to him being captured.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, yeah, of course it does. Psycho Mantis is one and done, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, maybe what you have is Merrill gets shot, you disappear trying to find a sniper rifle, which would probably be easier than going back 3 locations.
Oh, yeah.
Grab a sniper rifle.
Maybe you don't have the first Ocelot scene. Maybe you just have
you've got to introduce them. You've got to introduce.
No, you introduce him, but you don't have this big battle.
No, you don't have a fight. You just have him
you introduce him as this like superstar and that, and superstar gunslinger, and then you have
you just cut the fight, and then you just have him fire a couple of bullets at Snake, who dodges them,
and then he gets Donald Anderson's the DARPA. Oh shit.
I can't remember his name. I know you're on about.
Yeah, Donald Anderson's the DARPA chief in it. The other geezer, the fat ball geezer, beats you up with his stick.
No.
I just saved your fucking life, you dickhead. You hit me with a fucking stick for. But yeah, so that Poppy Playtime. Have you played Poppy Playtime?
No.
Poppy Playtime, I think, will be a very interesting film, especially if it's live action. Poppy Playtime, it's first person, and it's that one with the hands,
Yeah.
And you've got Huggy Wuggy that's coming after you. It's going to be very much in the vein of FNAF, right? You've got Huggy Wuggy, there's fucking, talk about this. It's a horror game where a giant, scary, blue fucking thing comes at you and, rips your face off. Let's market them toys for kids.
Jesus.
My friend has a child who is about 5 years old that has a Huggy Wuggy and a Kissy Wissy.
You're joking.
And it sounds ridiculous that I'm saying their names right now.
Someone
oh, do you want a Kissy Wissy doll and a Huggy Wuggy? But yeah, that could border on FNAF level.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that.
How do you make Portal the film?
I mean, there was a story to it, but it's a silent
Yeah, but you're
protagonist.
fucking opening portals and throwing stuff through one portal to get through the other one to move on to the next level.
I mean, you don't do it all that, I guess. I guess you just you do it a couple of times to show that she can do that, and then she works out how to jump through a portal and go higher to get herself out of things. You don't have obviously the sheer amount of games that you've got in that, but you've got to do the initial game where she does it. What are you laughing about? You chuckling to yourself.
I'm just going through this list while I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, they are scraping the fucking barrel.
Oh yeah,
They've got Untitled Pac-Man film. Yeah, it's already out. It's called Pixels.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was brilliant.
It's called Pixels. They had Pac-Man in Pixels. Untitled Space Invaders film.
Oh jeez,
that was also called Pixels. It's pretty much the same premise of fucking Pixels, Space Invaders.
God.
Like Streets of Rage film. That's going to be interesting. That's just,
I mean,
mate,
Streets of Rage.
it's already it. It's called Warriors. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's already existing.
it's like an 80s film called Warriors, and they came out to play, and it was terrible.
What is Talking Tom and Friends?
Mate, Talking Tom is the cat. You know when you're like, hello fucker, and the cat be like, hello fucker. Do you remember? Don't you remember? So
No.
it's a fucking mobile phone thing. It was a mobile on your phone, and you got this grey cat, and you could later on buy other, and you'd record yourself saying something, and the cat would say it back. You'd be like, "Hello, you prick," and then the cat would be like, "Hello, you prick," and he'd like fart and do. I'll have to show you it. It's so fucking ludicrous. How the fuck can you make a film
of it?
Well, it's not even a. Is it a game?
It's saying it's a
Oh
game.
wow! Oh wow! Hold on a second. I just wow! I just clicked on Talking Tom, and the first thing that comes up: controversy, paedophile hoax. Okay,
What?
let's move on. In February 2014, Talking Angela was the subject of an internet hoax claiming that it encourages children to disclose personal information about themselves. Yeah, okay, we leave that one alone. We're not going back into Talking Tom.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about Talking Tom. That's gone.
But they are wow. Somebody, it's like okay, we went through like what the films that they legitimately like made films that flopped. If they redone them now, they could actually do some decent stuff with.
I can get that.
Like you say, Max Payne. You could make a really good Max Payne film. You could make a really good Far Cry film, or TV series.
Or TV series.
Like,
I think Max Payne would be a better TV series, but I'd also think that Alan Wake would. And Alan Wake.
I was going to ask you about Alan Wake. Like, how do you feel it would transfer over?
That would definitely have to be a TV series, especially being that it's already broken into episodes.
Yeah.
So you could really build that quite nicely as well, because you could sell like the different sides of Alan, why he thinks this is going on, and then you move on to a second season, which would be Alan Wake 2. So.
Yeah, Prince of Persia. I think you could remake that and do something a lot better with it. But it just seems like they're scraping the fucking barrel with some of these.
I mean, some of these could never really. Surely you can't get some of these things. Untitled Just Dance film.
Mate, it's literally just going to be Step Up.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a dancing movie that or maybe it's going to be based around a Dance Revolution kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, like a competition or something. I mean, that's the only way I could see you really doing it. If it's not Step Up.
Okay, like Mortal Kombat got a recent remake released in 2021. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. They're getting a sequel, apparently.
They are getting a sequel, but I kind of like. I don't like the fact that they brought in some random. Like Cole. Cole is not in any. Like, I'm kind of being a bit hypocritical because I said that's what I actually liked about Resident Evil was the fact that you had Alice, who is a standalone character for the movies only. But I kind of feel
Cole was a bit like.
Cole's the main protagonist, and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, he's like a descendant of Scorpio, and you're like, and plus his suit was bollocks. They pretty much turned him into fucking Black Panther. It's like, oh, your suit absorbs, and then you can let it all out at once in an attack. It's like, I've seen this before. I've seen this movie.
I've seen this
Marvel
before.
Film. Yeah, but yours just goes gold, while his went purple. I've seen this before.
Just excuse me for a couple of seconds, mate.
Yes, no worries. Yeah, no worries. I'll shit all over these upcoming ones. No worries. I mean, like, it's not right. So, Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. Massive, made an absolute ton of money, 20 million budget. like, of course, it's going to get a remake. I don't know where it goes with a remake, but it's what we're saying. I think it's that kind of film, horror in essence, is probably the best suited to translate into a um into a movie, because there is a story behind Five Nights at Freddy's. There is a story behind Dead by Daylight, but it's a very loose story. It's not a. I know you've got lore with all of the characters and stuff, but Dead by Daylight, essentially, it's small games. It's like 4v1 game, lost about half an hour, next game, and it's got one end result, a couple of different end results. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, the actual game itself, it's like you're sitting in a room, you're watching security cameras, you've got to stop them attacking you, essentially, night after night after night after night. It's not an engrossing, encompassing story like a God of War, like Last of Us. So it's, they are very much made. They are perfect for movies. Where I feel a lot of the others, like I say, Days Gone, Death Stranding, I really feel they're going to struggle to tell the story of these games that are like 15 hours long, to try and condense them down into 2 hours and make them not feel rushed and
And I'm back. Sorry about that.
that's all right. I was just saying, I really do feel that, like, they're going to struggle to tell stories that don't feel rushed and incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of film, which brings us to our full circle to our point. The problem that we have with the video game to movie adaptation is when you try and condense everything into a short medium, you're not going to care about any of the characters, anyone that you meet, anyone that you are meant to like. I mean, even Cole talking about Mortal Kombat, like, because you don't know who he is and you've got no attachment to him anyway. In a film that's going to last 2 hours and tell me that he's the most important person, after I've watched Sub-Zero fight Scorpion, I'm not really interested in him, if you know what I mean. It's the same problem that I have with the Resident Evil further films, is that you're trying to sell me this big story of Alice and she's the, fucking bee's knees and she's super trained to be a zombie killing thing who can kick dogs out the air with a round out kick.
She's essentially, she's the ultimate goal of what they were trying to achieve, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, but for me, I'm like, well, the ultimate goal, what the game's trying to achieve, is Spencer's trying to find a way for immortality, which makes sense. Whereas you're just trying to tell me that they're trying to, do the. It's the same thing that everyone sort of does with those kind of films. Like, well, we're trying to make super soldiers. So, but can't it just be what it was, which is they're just trying to, they fucked up. Some scientists mixed some fucking things together and went, I've made this monster that could basically kill out everyone. It'll never escape. It's escaped. Fuck. Because that's still an interesting tale. It's still, an horrific creature that you've made in a lab breaks out, and then you've got either test subject. I mean, Dead by Daylight is almost a thing of it where, you've just got something that's larger than life that's going to potentially kill everybody. And then four unhappy, unlucky fucking losers decide that they're going to find guns and kill it. Why can't we still just do that instead of being a superhero?
You shat on Rampage, and your description of Resident Evil is exactly what they did in Rampage. They were just like, they told the story of these four fucking three creatures, and
but they became them. They became those things. Whereas I'm saying,
but the zombies became the zombies.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want one of. Because Rampage is more akin to like having Alice who's a super soldier essentially.
Well, technically, like it's George. George is Alice essentially. It's just this normal, everyday albino gorilla
dude who gets injected by somebody and then suddenly
he goes mental, but then he realizes, no, I'm a good guy.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that they just never do it right. And I'm going to have to rant a little bit about Resident Evil. Is Resident Evil have already got pretty cheeseball stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a couple of lackluster fucking police detectives wander into a situation that's filled with zombies and other monsters because some pharmaceutical company decided that if I used to put the gorilla's arms onto a normal man and then inject something into the back of its head, and then it got out, what would happen? Well, it'd murder a load of people.
You'd get Nemesis.
Yeah. So I don't know why we couldn't just do that instead and just, give me a cheeseball film that's going to get loads of people asses in seats. You just, you set it about four people running away from murderous dogs into a house where it just so happens that when you went into the dining room, there's some blood, so it intrigues the mystery, and then you find a undead person chobbling on someone that you recognize. You could. That just seems like a very easy prospect and film to do. Not a high on a budget. You just got one big location, and then you got to build some fake-looking labs instead of going to the extreme of either Welcome to Raccoon City, which is like, let's just try and do all of it all in one film when the film's going to be like an hour and a half long and we're not even going to cover one. I mean, it just makes little to no sense to me. It just seems like an easy premise to do.
Do you want to know what makes sense?
What's that?
Okay, I'll tell you this. This is what makes sense. Resident Evil. First one, 100 million. Second one, 130 million. Third one, 150 million. Fourth one, 300 million. Next one, 240 million. Next one, 312 million. That's what makes sense. Welcome to Raccoon City, 38 million. Yeah, but I do think it comes straight to Netflix, didn't it? I think so. But yeah, forget that one, and that's not even talking the animated stuff. But that's what made sense with Resident Evil. Was it had a fan base, it had a cult fan base.
Yeah.
Because every film got shit on by Rotten Tomatoes. 35%, 19%, 25%, 22%, 28%. Only the first film hit above 30% on Rotten Tomatoes score. Metacritic was, I think, even worse. Metacritic fucking slammed the shit out of it. But it had a cult following. And it made a ton of money. So
believe it or not, people like seeing zombies get fucking shot and killed and stabbed in varying degrees way, while you've got other monsters. I mean, the big selling point was the liquor in Resident Evil.
That was no, was the liquor in one?
Yeah, liquor was in one. It's the big.
I remember being in the church in 2 because you come in and took it out of a motorbike, didn't she? That was fucking ludicrous. This fucking motorbike flies through and fucking takes out. Oh, okay, cool.
All right then. Cool. Yeah, all right, whatever. Yeah, because you see someone turn into a liquor. I'm sure you'd see someone turn into a liquor.
Oh, hang on. I think, isn't it a liquor that attacks Michelle Rodriguez's character, then she turns into one on the train, doesn't she?
Yeah, something like that.
Rain. Her character name was Rain. I'll always remember that. Rain.
She was the best person in that fucking film.
Yeah. And old matey that turned into Nemesis, I liked him as well.
Yeah. And not to mention, and I always remember this scene, that bit where the guy makes all that effort to dodge them lasers, and then the lasers just go, no.
Yeah, they just open up into a mesh, didn't they? And then his body's just like,
yeah, dodge this.
It's like, look at him, he's doing. Oh yeah, it's fucking yeah. You wish you were fucking Neo now, mate. Fucking hell, Mrs. is fucking Ant-Man.
Yeah. I always love that. She's like, man, fair play. He's got all the way through that.
He's done all this cool shit. And the computer said, no, mate.
Fuck you, mate.
I mean, you got to beg the question, the fuck didn't you do that in the first place?
Yeah.
Right? Whoever programmed this going, yeah, I'm going to toy with this prick. Whoever wants to come in, I'm going to toy with him. Rather than just have a fucking like mesh laser come in at first and just be done with it. No. We're going to make him think that he's the fucking dog Stanglies. We're going to make him think he's a fucking ninja over here. And then we're going to fuck his whole world up.
Yeah. All right, mate. Yeah. You're super impressive.
Yeah, fucking brown bread now, mate, ain't you?
You're cubized. You've been cubed.
Sliced and diced. Sushi.
Sliced and diced. Yes. So, unless you got any other points, mate, we should probably
no. Just that I feel like, I hope we see more adaptations going to TV than film, because I feel TV can do them more justice. Maybe the strong story games should go to TV, and the crazy weird shit like Five Nights at Freddy's, like Poppy Playtime, like Dead by Daylight, like Minecraft.
I bet Minecraft's going to make all the fucking money.
Minecraft to do fucking gangbusters. Like those kind of, I get it. Like they are films. One that would be interesting is Borderlands, because I think Borderlands probably should be a series, to be honest. So many stories within Borderlands.
I think that film's going to be trash.
Yeah,
I love Borderlands.
I just don't think they can make, like I say, a series. I think would be much better. But we'll see.
I don't know how you're gonna do it.
And a fuck slime rancher. What? Like you collect slime, and
I think so. It's like
no, I've seen someone play the game. You collect slime in like this little slime-o-matic machine, and it's like how.
Just.
But yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting future, because like I say, obviously it's that video game adaptations and like superheroes are like, but we can't. But then again, the video, like there's so much variety with video games that they're never going to slow down with this now. They're going to release game after game after game after game after game. So film after film after film after film. We'll see.
Gran Turismo is on this list, just to.
Is it where? I didn't see Gran Turismo.
It is under films with plots centered on video games, which makes no sense. And they've put it there,
it's a sub-genre within a fucking genre. What? Yeah, is it the only one?
No, Tetris is in there as well. Free Guy's in the same category.
Free Guy's not a fuck. Okay, so Ready Player One must be in there as well then.
I suspect. Yes, it is. Ready Player One's in there.
That's
Ralph breaks the internet.
Right, no, fuck off.
Serenity.
Right, fuck off. Right, I'm just going to say this now. Absolutely fuck off whoever created this list. I'm going to have a rant now, because Gran Turismo is legitimately a fucking game. Tetris is a game that should be in there.
Yeah.
Fucking 8-Bit Christmas, Free Guy. They're not fucking anything to do. Right, okay. The 8-Bit Christmas, the kid wants to buy a SNES. That does not mean that it's a fucking video game movie. You absolute cockwombles. What the fuck? Who is right? Boss level. Yeah. Because it adapts video game tropes. It's a video game movie. No, you prick.
Pixels is in there.
For fuck's sake. Pixels, okay, I can kind of understand, because it actually legitimately has video. Like Ready Player One, okay, it legitimately has Free Guy, legitimately has video game. Like the video game is based around the world, But Gran Turismo is a fucking video game movie.
Yep.
Oh, actually, shit. No, it's fucking not, is it? I've just realised it's a biopic.
Yeah, they class it as a biopic.
It is actually a biopic, because it's about the kid who became a driver through playing Gran Turismo. Okay, forget what I just said about that. But the rest of them, I was completely right.
Rant over.
Yeah, fuck's sake. Why did I just have to realise that? Fuck off.
Because the world.
War games. Because we have tic-tac-toe in it, it's a fucking video game movie.
That's it. It's a video game film. Scott Pilgrim versus the
World.
Oh,
I hated that fucking film. What a pile.
They're making it into an anime now.
No, I think it's already out, mate.
Oh, is it already out? I didn't know.
Oh, Tron Legacy. Okay, we have some neons, and it's a video game. Yeah, cool.
Well, I mean, it's Tron.
Yeah, I know. I know it's set in a computer. What the hell is Nightmares?
That's what I looked at that and thought. Emilio
Estevez.
No, Estevez is actually the real name of
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
And I was like,
like Martin and Emilio. So Martin's the dad.
Yeah.
And Charlie's the son, and Emilio's the son. It's all right. When you let's just I just got to say this. Martin, Charlie, Emilio. If ever, like, you question, like, is he really your dad? So why is his name fucking... But I think you'll find Martin is actually not his real name either.
No, I saw a massive thing on it.
What's his name? What? Oh, yeah, no, it's Ramon.
Ramon Estevez.
What's Charlie Sheen's real name then? Carlos. Okay. Carlos Irwin Estevez. Mate, Carlos is so much better than Charlie.
Yeah. I mean, makes you wonder, why did they make him change his name? I assume Emilio
probably to become more Americanized.
Yeah,
like
probably. But
Carlos.
Did all right.
Well, no. Like his name. Like I'm wondering if, like Martin Sheen, like Ramon Estevez, Martin Sheen, very much American, strong. You know. You think first film? What was that? 1973. Oh no, Breakthrough Role was 1973. I wonder if it was something to do with that, with him thinking that like having a American as opposed to a more Mexican name.
Well, a lot of names that get changed seem to be Jewish names. They tend to, like, if you look.
I don't think Ramon's a Jewish name.
No. What I mean is, like, I was looking through a load of films and seeing, their name and what their real name is, and a lot of them are like, ends with like what sounds like a Jewish name. If you look up a name, a list of actors real.
Is that because they're like Schmidt and stuff like that?
Stuff like that, yeah. Yeah. So Reese Witherspoon, I mean, that's Laura Janine Reese Witherspoon, so doesn't really why. The Weeknd is Abdul Makanan.
Yeah, but like his name's not The Weeknd. The Weeknd's just his pseudonym first thing. Just quickly though, Martin Sheen, due to prejudices in the industry, changed his professional name to Martin Sheen in 1958 in a bid to land more acting roles. When he began auditioning as an actor, Estevez said he too used the name Sheen as he thought it would help open doors.
Jamie Foxx's real name's Eric Marlon Bishop.
Yeah, it's not gangster, is it? All right, Eric.
All right, Eric, mate. How you doing?
How you doing, Eric? As he's in there with his fucking, like, gangster persona.
I can't see all the ones because I literally found this list and there's Winona Ryder, so Winona Laura Horowitz. The real.
Yeah, Horowitz just doesn't sell. I get it. Yeah, I like certain names. You just like look at them and just think like, yeah, it just doesn't sound right, does it?
Roll off the tongue, mate. Don't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. Martin Sheen regrets changing his name from Ramon. Started happy that he was able to convince his son to not. Oh, so he convinced Emilio to not change his name.
Oh, so he said, no, mate, don't do it.
So obviously Charlie must be the older brother then.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Carmen Electra is Tara Lee Patrick.
61. No, Bruno Charlie's younger. He's 58 and Emilio's 61.
Oh, shit. I wouldn't have thought that. But I suppose Emilio always looks young.
It's Gordon Bombay, isn't he? Bombay. Right. Okay, cool.
So we've sort of
digressed into fucking something completely fucking different.
Nicolas Cage is Nicholas Kim Coppola.
Yeah, he's related to Francis Ford Coppola, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's the name of his uncle.
Why would you not keep that fucking name unless you're worried that you're going like your name is what's going to get you roles, not your actual ability. Which at the end of the day, it makes no difference because Francis just phoned him and go, yeah, my nephew's coming in. His name's Nicolas Cage because the tit won't take my name, so just give him the role anyway.
Like, it's still you're still going to get like.
Once people know that you're related to Francis Ford Coppola, you're like legendary director. You're like, okay, yeah, cool.
I did not know that Prince Harry's real name was Henry Charles Albert David.
And not one of them names I would want.
No. It's like they just put everyone's name together.
Fuck, could you be any more of it? Like, yeah. Okay, right.
Anyway, sorry, we digress.
Moving on.